Trump warns Iran of bad things if no deal made, sets deadline of 10 to 15 days. India joins U.S.-led PAC Silica initiative on AI supply chain of critical minerals. How can a Modi government-funded event call for removal of Muslims? Asks the Quint. Gaza deaths exceed 75,000 in first 15 months, far above 49,000 reported. 56% women, children, and elderly, Lancet study says. Donald Trump has warned Iran that it must reach a nuclear agreement within 10 to 15 days, or face what he described as really bad things. Speaking at the launch of his Board of Peace initiative in Washington, Trump said negotiations were progressing but insisted Tehran must agree to a meaningful deal. He suggested the coming days would be decisive, setting what he called a near-maximum deadline of 2 weeks. The warning comes amid a major U.S. military buildup in the Middle East, including aircraft carriers, warships, and fighter jets. A senior U.S. official said the deployment would be fully in place by mid-March. Iran responded with a letter to Antonio Guterres, stating it does not seek war but would respond decisively and proportionately to any military aggression. Tehran warned that U.S. bases and assets in the region would become legitimate targets if attacked. Earlier this week, U.S. and Iranian negotiators met in Geneva. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said both sides agreed on guiding principles, though Washington maintains significant differences remain. Trump reiterated that Iran cannot be allowed to obtain a nuclear weapon, saying peace in the Middle East depends on it. The United States is demanding that Iran halt uranium enrichment entirely and curb its missile program, conditions Tehran has called unacceptable beyond the nuclear file. Tensions have pushed oil prices higher while Russia has urged restraint, warning of the risk of escalation. With diplomacy ongoing and military forces on standby, the region faces a critical 2-week window that could shape the next phase of the standoff. India has officially joined PAC Silica, a U.S.-led strategic alliance focused on strengthening supply chains for critical minerals and artificial intelligence. The agreement was signed at the AI Impact Summit in New Delhi, attended by Indian Railways Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw and U.S. Under-Secretary of State for Economic Affairs Jacob Hellberg. PAC Silica brings together countries including Australia, Japan, Israel, South Korea, Singapore, Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, the United Kingdom, and Greece. The coalition aims to build a secure and resilient ecosystem spanning raw materials, semiconductors, and AI infrastructure. U.S. Ambassador to India Sergio Gore described India's entry as significant for shaping the 21st century's economic and technological order. Vaishnaw said the partnership would boost India's growing electronics and semiconductor sectors, noting that multiple semiconductor plants are already underway and commercial production is expected to begin soon. Hellberg said the initiative reflects a broader push among partner nations to strengthen cooperation in emerging technologies and reduce vulnerabilities in global supply chains. India's move comes as New Delhi and Washington work to finalize a trade agreement and deepen strategic ties following recent tariff disputes. With India now part of the bloc, PAC Silica expands its footprint across the Indo-Pacific and Middle East, positioning itself as a key alliance in the evolving global technology landscape. An investigation by the Quint has revealed that the Indian government provided 63 lakh rupees in public funds to support a religious event where speakers reportedly called for the mass deportation of Muslims and the creation of a Hindu Rashtra. According to documents obtained through a right to information request, the Union Ministry of Culture granted the funds to the organization Sanatan Sanstha for the Sanatan Rashtra Shankhnad Mahotsav, held in December at Delhi's Bharat Mandapam. The event also reportedly received backing from Delhi's tourism ministry. Several public figures and lawmakers attended the gathering. During the 2-day event, some speakers made controversial and inflammatory remarks regarding India's Muslim population, including calls for deportation and demands to limit population growth. Other statements reportedly encouraged religious conversions and advocated transforming India into a Hindu nation. The Culture Ministry has confirmed the funding. However, Delhi's tourism ministry has not yet responded to queries regarding its involvement. Journalists involved in the investigation have raised constitutional and ethical concerns. questioning the use of taxpayer money for an event where rhetoric allegedly targeted a minority community and challenged India's secular framework. The issue has sparked debate over government funding, free speech, and the constitutional principles guiding public policy in India. A new peer-reviewed study published in The Lancet Global Health estimates that more than 75,000 Palestinians were killed during the first 15 months of Israel's military campaign in Gaza, a figure significantly higher than the 49,000 deaths reported at the time by Gaza's health ministry. According to the study, women, children, and the elderly made up more than 56% of those killed. Researchers say this demographic breakdown closely matches earlier reports from Gaza health authorities. The research was conducted by the Palestinian Center for Policy and Survey Research and led by Professor Michael Spaggott of Royal Holloway, University of London. It is described as the first independent population-based mortality survey carried out inside Gaza during the conflict. The study surveyed 2,000 households across the territory through face-to-face interviews conducted over 7 days starting December 30, 2024. Researchers estimate that by early January 2025, between 3 and 4% of Gaza's total population had died as a result of violence, with additional deaths caused indirectly by the war. The United Nations has long considered Gaza Health Ministry figures generally reliable, though Israel has questioned those numbers, citing Hamas control of the ministry. However, the new analysis suggests the official death toll may have significantly undercounted fatalities, potentially by as much as 40%. In addition to an estimated 7,200 violent deaths, researchers calculated approximately 1,600 nonviolent deaths during the same period, attributed to disease, untreated medical conditions, and other indirect consequences of the conflict.